Once upon a time, there was a girl named Alice. Alice was paying attention to her sister lecture about history, and she kind of lost track of time, wandered off. She saw a rabbit in a waistcoat and had a watch, and all of a sudden it started muttering, I'm late," and took off running. So she took off running behind it, just to try to chase it down to ask it why it had a waistcoat and a watch. So she chased it to this tree. The rabbit crawled through a hole in the tree, and so she crawled in after it. All of a sudden, she started falling. Thank goodness her dress ballooned out, so she caught wind and floated to the bottom. She saw in the distance the rabbit running through there's a door, and it's about 2 feet tall. She ran to the door and she started to open it, and she realized the doorknob was yelling at her. "You can't go through here," the doorknob said. "You're too big. You have to go drink that stuff on the counter." So she went over and grabbed the bottle of stuff and drank it, and it tasted kind of like strawberries. And she started shrinking. All of a sudden, she could get through the door. She ran over to the door, got through it, and discovered on the other side a whole world of odd things. Talking birds, walking fish, strange insects. So she started walking, and she found two little men, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. She said, "My name's Alice, and I'm looking for the White Rabbit." They started talking all at the same time, so she quit and walked away. She was walking through a dark part of the forest when she looked up and saw two yellow eyes and a big smile. She looked a little closer, and it became a cat. "My name's the Cheshire Cat," it said. "What's yours?" "Alice, and I'm looking for the White Rabbit," she said. "Well, I would ask the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. They're that way." So she followed the path that the Cheshire Cat had given her, and she realized that the Cheshire Cat was right. There's the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. They're having an unbirthday? "That's strange," she said. She asked them why it was their unbirthday. They said, "Because we only have one birthday a year, and we need more than one. We need 364 unbirthdays." "It's my unbirthday too," she said. "Oh, really?" So they presented her with a cake, lit the candles. They were having a nice party, and all of a sudden, a dormouse jumped out of a teapot and ran across the table. "Catch it," said the Mad Hatter. So they all start to chase after the dormouse. Well, in the distance, she sees the White Rabbit run by, so she chases after the White Rabbit. She runs through this little tree door and finds herself in the palace in the gardens. The Queen of Hearts is there, and the White Rabbit is introducing everyone. The White Rabbit, in her meat eyes, and the Queen sees her. The Queen comes over and asks her very nicely, "Do you play croquet?" "Yes," said Alice, "I do, Your Majesty," she curtsied. "Would you like to play? Let the games begin." This is the strangest game of croquet Alice had ever seen. It had hedgehogs as balls and flamingos as croquet mallets. One of the flamingos got spooked by the Cheshire Cat and tripped the Queen. The Queen blamed it on Alice and said, "Off with her head!" "Don't I get a fair trial?" said Alice. "Okay." So they put the Mad Hatter on the stand as a witness. They put the Dormouse on the stand as a witness. And they put the Cheshire Cat on the stand as a witness. All of a sudden, the Dormouse jumped up and ran down the aisle. Alice ran the other direction, thinking that she could escape the Queen. Everyone started chasing after her. All of a sudden, bam! She's back in her own little world, being woke up by her sister. It was all just a magical dream. The end. Thank you for your time.